Okay, so I guess we can start. Yeah. Thank you all for coming, and we will start with progress update. Okay, we can start from Lily's update first.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joseph. So, my update is only the booking page research for Facebook ads platform, which is currently working with Rizal. Basically, um, we want to design a booking page on our websites, and the management is using WordPress, I guess. And then this is the structure for the parent page, which is this is only the initial, and we would continue this research and meet in the next future dates. Basically, thank you, Joseph. That's only my update.
Oh yeah. Do you have like deadline for this?
Okay, thank you very much for pointing out. Actually, I haven't decide the deadline, but because I guess this is the really long process, and I think I need to discuss more about this with results, since I think in marketing they still building up the structure basically for the chapter itself. Perhaps the longest is 2 weeks, I guess, but
Oh,
I'll make sure that by the next sync up.
okay. Just don't forget to put it on. Okay. Do anybody have question for Kalilis? No. Okay, then we can continue on to Fidis update.
Okay, thank you. My update regarding which one again? Regarding price lab versus smart pricing Airbnb, I have attached the report for the first week. Uh, so the result is there are no bookings for bring it on back from either method. And for the displays, actually we have bookings for Airbnb and also Feedy, but none for price lab. So that's interesting. Oh, and I've also attached the booking value there. I've also updated the Dropbox document. The next plan is to drop the price for being in unboxed for the second week.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Fidi. Can you tell me that in the comment you said there is a price that is being cancelled? Why do you cancel that?
Oh no, it's just an indication, but because they booked the property within the past 7 days, but they canceled the booking. That's why I annotated the value as being canceled. But the booking happened during the experimental phase, during the experimental period.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification. Do anybody have question for Kak Vidi? No? Okay, then we will continue to Frida, and Frida is taking a day off today, so I'm going to read his update. The first is the B5.1. There is no much update on it. She says that she's still on the review process. And next is the BIU2 for the acquiring new properties from Google Canvassing, and she has finished the second draft pitch email, which you can open in the comment section, and I've give a little feedback to her about introducing herself as revenue management team instead of intern, so that the partner can feel like they are being taken more seriously. Yeah. So if any of you have comment for Frida, just feel free to write it down on the comment. Okay, next, I'm going to start with my update. For the BI B.12, there has actually been no update, but Frida just sent me like a potential partner in Slack. So yeah, and for the partner contract classification, the due date is today, and I have actually finished this, but I've not yet labeled it as done. So yeah, anybody have any question? No? Okay. Then we can continue on to Tara's update.
Thank you. Well, I don't have any updates right now. However, I guess I'll just state to everybody that I have a dual chaptership, if I can call it that. I've been put into the rotation again to be like chair and secretary for marketing, and they'll be starting me with a small project at some point soon, just to see how I can balance between the two chapters, and we'll go from there, something like that. And oh yeah, and Masgani will be my marketing mentor, basically. So yeah, that's my update. I'll be continuing with my cards though. Once we're done with this pitch deck stuff with Sinarmas. Yeah, I'll be back then. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Tara. So, okay. Next for Jing, but hey, do anybody have question for Tara first?
Excuse me, Chair. I'm sorry. I'm in a cafe. I'm next to a subwoofer. Could you repeat the question?
Yes, Mr. Jing. I'm sorry, my connection got bad.
Okay, just continue, please. Yeah.
I think he might be frozen. Yeah.
Right. Since Joseph is frozen, maybe we'll move to Mr. Jing's private. Any updates, sir? Because there are no cards in your list. Yep. So Mr. Jing will only be having the Cinemas pitch tomorrow. Best of luck to Mr. Jing. Then for Mowayan, does not have any update. Maybe for Mowayan, any like update outside the initiatives. Okay, and since Joseph is back,
Sorry, guys,
I'll return it
lost
to
my
the chair.
connection. Okay, thank you. So I guess we can just move on to the W, right? Okay, wait, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can start from the revenue. So today we got 2 bookings, and we also the monthly revenue projection for August is $20,300. So yeah, and I got a few insight from the coronavirus monitoring. So in the third quarter of 2020, we are actually going to have a lot more guests from Indonesia rather than any other area, and that will be mainly because the international uh, the international traveling is not yet allowed, so there will be more Indonesian guests. And for the cancellation pace versus the booking pace, actually for today we have like 50% more of cancellation than booking pace, if but in number it's just one, so you can never mind the percentage. But in like 14 and 15 August, we had a lot of booking compared to cancellation, so that might be a good sign for us. Yep. Do anybody have any other insight on this? Yep, Vidi.
Yeah. So about the booking pace, I believe the Tableau reports 2 bookings for today, right? But I believe in Slack channel, the Slack booking feed channel, we see that there are about 8 or 9 bookings for today. So maybe it hasn't registered in the database. And secondly, Mr. Chair, regarding the monthly revenue, the monthly revenue is not a projection, but it's actually the acquired revenue. So might want to correct that one.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the
Yep.
correction.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Jing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a quick question to the team. Why do we see a peak in bookings and then go back to normal again?
Because it's long weekend, sir. And Indonesians, when I download the data, we see that 50%, more than 50% are Indonesian guests, especially the one that happened last Saturday or last Friday. Yeah. When we download the data, more than 50% are Indonesians.
All right. And then second follow-up question. What channel did they book on?
It's a mix actually, but they're mainly Airbnb. But there are some from Booking.com and actually one or two from Agoda, if I'm not mistaken. You can
Third
see
question.
the channel summary.
Okay, third question. What does that mean for us?
Most of our market is still from Airbnb, and Indonesian guests actually books from Airbnb.
Okay, next question. Are we seeing that because we have a bias? Are we, okay? Does that mean Airbnb is the correct channel, or is it that Airbnb's because we haven't optimized our other channels, we might not be seeing bookings that happen on other channels?
We wait. Anyone who wants to answer? Because I believe it's still because we do not we are not optimizing our other channels. As proposed by our meeting with Booking.com team, we actually not use a lot of their features. Like a lot of their features we haven't used actually from Booking.com. But Booking.com also reports the same number of influx in domestic travels. We actually have the stats from Booking.com. It's somewhere. Yeah, we recorded in the Dropbox folder.
Okay. All right. And then next question. Does that inspire any action that we should take then? Any new action or any inspiration for new initiatives? And we can go to anybody, yeah?
I guess from me, yep, maybe I agree with VD. We cannot conclude that basically Indonesian people only use. I mean, a majority of Indonesian people use Airbnb because we don't have any other comparison other than Booking.com and also Agoda. And then maybe for the inspiration, we can start to working on booking.com perhaps like mvp using mvp like for because there's so many features basically using promo this promo and that promo that we can also have label basically and the what is that name the people from booking.com actually ready to help us to set that so we get more people to help basically.
Okay. And then the next question is who would do that?
Okay, who will do that? Perhaps I will see the bandwidth of each people, and I think that I have bandwidth. I might be the people that doing that basically. So
Okay. The only reason I brought it up is that's how I would find inspiration, right? For like a new idea or working on an idea. Like, does it actually? Okay. Anyway. Okay. Thank you, Lilis. Back to the chair.
Okay, thank you. Oh, before I actually want to apologize to Kawena before because you haven't done your progress report yet. Wait, I'm
I
gonna.
asked already.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kak Fidi. Thank you. Okay, then. So we are done with this. I guess we are going to the discussion management board.
I have a question over to Vidi. Vidi, I understand that we want to spend a significant amount of our time today talking about the CNR Moss deal. Is that the case, Vidi?
Yeah. If there are still allocation, like time allocation for the in the discussion board,
Okay.
but I think there are still a lot of lacking in the construction of the presentation, so it might uh, be a second priority, sir. If there are more urgent questions.
Okay. Then let's say because this seems urgent and important, let's do this first. Yeah. And if we have to take, do we have enough time? We have 40 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah. Basically, what we're going to talk about is the data acquisition itself, right? We don't have to. Do we still have to talk about? And the design itself is already. I've already written out the comments
Okay.
in the design.
Very
So
good.
But the realization of the design itself is still not there yet.
Okay.
Back to the
Sure.
chair.
Okay, thank you. So for today's discussion management, I think we can start from me and Tara first regarding the Sinarmas land pitch deck. And Tara, you can start with the design feedback maybe.
Well, feel free to just, tell me if you think there's something lacking. Because when it comes to the design, I'll take care of that part. But I just want to design what, the information that you want to include, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start from slide 3, which that is Sinarmas potential in Bali. And I'm actually still a bit confused because, the bullet points, at least in the pitch deck structure table, are still quite, I guess, lacking in the sense of I don't fully understand what to really visualize there. I don't know if everybody can see if they have the paper in front of them. I could just read it out loud. So it says plot of land in Pachatu, and then it says compared to development scheme in Jakarta, has everything as opposed to letting the community to build things up. I mean, it's like I understand what you're trying to say, but like, how am I supposed to show that here? What do you want me to put down here? And since Jing, you'll be talking for the rest of it. Like, yeah, I want to see, what am I supposed to put in this slide? Yeah, we'll start here in this slide. Yeah. Over to anybody basically.
Tara, could I see all the slides that you've put together so I can get kind of a zoomed out view before we zoom in?
Starting from the beginning, basically, or
Okay, right. The 3 slides are: 1 is the map, 2nd is the before and after price, and 3rd is we can be a catalyst to grow value in the area. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's open that. First 2 slides I can work with. Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
First 2 slides I can work with. 3rd slide, let me take a look and zoom in. We can be catalyst to grow value in the area.
Oh, yep.
Okay, got it. 2000. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's the design is okay, but the content needs to be improved. All right, let's see. Let's go over to the style is okay. So Tara, if I understand correctly, you're in charge of essentially the style, the formatting, and just the overall look at the design. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
This is fine. This is something I can work with. The only problem I have with the design per se is this slide is super crowded. So I'd rather we use more slides to get the point across rather than one slide with everything jumbled together, because that will be hard to direct. So my thought process for Tara is we can expand the number of slides. It's okay, right? But just one slide,
Okay.
one concept, and that's fine. Okay. So the issue isn't the design then at this point. The issue is the content. Let's go back to the content idea. Let me ask Vidi. Vidi, do we have a format for what the content will be, let's say, across the presentation?
Oh yeah, we have it in the Cinema Slam paper.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Let's do this. Can we create a script first? Like, what's the narrative that we're building, and then we'll then think about how to slide it. So, like a storyboard for a movie. What's the script? What's the corresponding shot? What's the script? What's the corresponding shot? Okay. Maybe we can start with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Can start with that. Okay, so
The first.
we're gonna do it on the spot, right?
Yep. What? Vidi?
We're going to do it on the spot, or
Good question.
we'll do it after the discussion.
I'll go to Vidi. What are the top level priority questions first, and then we can drill into each
Right.
later. Yeah.
So if you look at the pitch document itself,
Okay.
the basic storyboard is actually like this.
Okay. All right. It's
So
sharing. I'll look at Vidi's. Okay. Right. Okay. 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 Good. 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 That looks good. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see what we're good at. Seeing our mass potential. All right. So our discovery is their land. Uh, okay. Quick one, Vidi.
yep,
I'd like to unify the theme. So
right.
the theme should be if we could turn Pachatu to Canggu, would that be interesting to you?
Yep.
Okay. So that
Yep,
I think
yep.
that's super.
That's right.
So then what we're good at is instead of what we're good at is how we've done this before.
Okay. Because what we're good at is actually like an introduction to what the introduction to our company. So it looks
Ah,
like
I
this
see. I
actually.
see. I see. If I
Let
were
me.
Peter Moss, I would. Okay, I remember we talked about attributes, right? We said we want to pitch our
Yep, yep,
attributes and get them to trust our attributes. But what's better than attributes
yep.
is proof, right?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. It's actually there's actually a section for that, sir.
oh, okay.
Right?
What section is that in?
For the stats.
Ah,
The stats as well as the what we've done before, like our offer and the credibility on the offer.
okay, good. So that's in slide 2 then, yeah? The stats, bookings, revenue, reviews. Okay.
Yes, number 2 is the stats, like how many bookings that we already have, the number of revenues for our partners,
Okay.
reviews, Airbnb rank. But the story about the Canggu, Pechato, and so on and so forth is at slide 5 actually.
Okay, got it. On the stats, what I need, Vidi, is I need also the higher level stat. So this is great for, let's say, if we're pitching to somebody who's looking for bookings, but the summary stat, I think, should be more, how have we raised the value of the land in that area?
Okay, so I think we moved the slide 5 to slide let's say 5 after 2, so this becomes 3,
Ah, yes.
4,
Okay, got
and
it.
this becomes 5.
Okay, all right, great. Good, 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 good. Okay, so we talk about what our machine. I'm sorry. Okay, I need to move. This is. I'm outside of base. So I'm trying to like learn how to keep on running around. I don't have headphones, so keep on bugging people. And then run to another area with more music. Okay. Okay. I would move. Okay. Let me do this. Sinar Mas potential in Bali. They have the plot of land. They compare the development scheme. Can I refine that a little bit? Suggestion video.
Yep, of course.
Can we say this is what we believe is the greatest lost opportunity? So we believe what the greatest lost opportunity is developing top down. Sort of like I'm trying to encapsulate this idea. I have it in my head, but it's like this idea of developing based on spreadsheets, right? You kind of think of like what's the land, what's the thing, and then how many units do I need to create, and that type of development is let's say broken in Bali, and let's see if they agree with that. Wait. Double check. Lilith, can you think of any successful BSD like projects in Bali?
BSD like project in
Yeah,
Bali.
super projects, big land development, lots of whatever, lots of top-down planning that were eventually successful.
For BSD, I don't think so. I mean, types of that. But in terms of, yeah, Tango is the best example, I guess,
Okay,
sir.
good.
For
So,
Bali.
so what we do is this, right? Product market fit. Maybe that's it. Yeah. What
Yeah.
we're offering is product market fit. So we don't believe that Sinar Mas has had good product market fit in Bali because what they're trying to sell is not actually buying. So that process is broken. And what we're suggesting is a way to fix that so that you get better product market fit in Bali. Vidi, what do you think of that?
Yep, that makes sense actually.
Okay. Joseph, double check.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Sinar Mal's potential in Bali is more like we detect this is the problem. You don't have good product market fit. If you had better product market fit, then this is what you would get out of your land. Right. Okay, this is good. This is good then. This is good. Then what we do is this is what's going to get their interest. We show them what we've been due percentage wise to previous pieces of land. Let's say we had a 50% increase in the land value. Then we imagine what a 50% increase in the land value for their land would be, and then that would get them hooked. Does that make sense?
Double check for the entirety of their land.
Sure. Let's say, for example, Changgu's price of land was this in this this particular time. This is the amount of hectares that is Canggu, right? And then if you could take that effect and raise that up to the same effect of Canggu, doubling the price of your land, would you be very happy with that result? And they would say yes. Right?
I need to double check with Vidi actually, sir. Vidi, what kind of data that you already gather for pricing, land priced in
Yeah. So
areas?
for the pricing, I've consulted with Mawayana and also Om Rafiq, right? Because I think the seniors know more about Bali and the field compared to the others. So we have from Mawayana, Canggu standard pricing is selling about 200 to 500 million if it's beachfront. Wait, the before and after one is Bukit 20 million. Now it's 50 to 100. Cliffront 400 million. It's still jumbled. That's why I'm still like sorting it out, like which one. But for Pachatu, Om Rafiq said that uh, his mother-in-law just sold Pachatu for. Let me check again.
But basically, do you get the before and after price?
From Mawaya, some yes.
Okay.
Is that for Canggu also?
Can you confirm Mawayan whether you mentioned the Canggu one? I'm still trying to like figure out.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Sorry, bit not too loud here because in the cafe. Okay. Can you tell me again the question?
Oh, did you send me? Did you Slack me the price of Canggu land before and after Bukit Vista?
There's like I think the last. I think I have this the after the before. The before it's in Canggu actually is around 200. It's not much different actually in Canggu compared to Bukit.
I see. So yeah, that's the answer.
Yep, Mr. Zing.
Thank you, Joseph. Is okay. What we need, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check. All right, is we need what the before prices were, and then the after prices of Canggu. Let's say in 2015, and then today, and then 2015 in Bingen, and then today, and then all that stuff. Right. Then what we can say is that in 2015 we earned the #1 spot of bringing this place to the 10th largest neighborhood growing on Airbnb. And then after that, 5 years later, this is what the new price was, right? And so if we can do the same for your particular piece of land, so we just need a table showing like the before and after prices. Babe, do you have the 2015 prices in the Bukit and in Canggu?
Actually, in Bukit, I get the price from 2011.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in the Bukit. It's before access and stuff. Normally between 50 and 75 million.
Okay.
And then in 2030, the price up until like 150 to 180.
Okay.
And now it's been up and then but it's slowing down again.
If we zoom
Yeah.
out a little bit, then Vidi is so this is for Tara. Is that format the correct format that would be enticing to the investor?
Could you repeat the format?
So the format is essentially this, right? So we identify the problem. We say, okay, um, what I'm thinking is this: we move slide 4 up a bit to the very beginning, right? So slide 4 goes into slide 2. We basically say this is what we think is the problem, right? The problem is that you don't have good product market fit, and this land is not going up in value, and it's not actually doing that much for you. Then what we show is this is what we've done before, right? This is what we're capable of. This is what we've done before, and then the next slide is: would you like this to happen? Would you like your price to go from this to this?
Okay. I think I actually was considering doing a format like that before, but thing is, since I had a limit for the slides, I was like, it's not gonna work because
I think we can still do it with the same number of slides. Let's go over.
like 5.
I think it can work. I think it can work. It's essentially just the turn, right? It's essentially think of like how the investor is going to digest this. The first thing is we introduce ourselves. We say, here, we're Bukit Vista. The second thing is we're here because we see a problem that we potentially could fix. Tell us if you believe that this is your problem. Your problem is you don't have product market fit, and this is costing you a lot of lost opportunity. This lost opportunity could be potentially fixed by partnering with us. Why should you listen to us? All right, this is what we can do very well. This is what we've done before. This is what we can do for you, right? And then we show basically, boom, this is our capabilities. These are the skill sets that we have. This is our track record before. Now, you are here. We want to bring you here. Is that interesting? And then that would then be a very, I think, that would be a very good narrative to convince somebody. Yeah, that is very interesting. Does that make sense?
I agree. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's a typical structure for pitch decks because I was like Googling it before.
Okay.
So they always put like the problem and then basically the solution that they want to offer.
Good. And then that's essentially the okay. Let's go over to the video. Double check.
Yep. It makes sense. But the only problem is that Moen said that there aren't any like a huge change in Canggu land prices, right?
Oh, did she say that? Okay. All right.
Yeah, but in Bukit there is.
No, why I don't say that? But the price before is similarly like in Bukit.
Oh, similar like in Bukit.
Is now.
Okay.
Yeah, the previous price.
Okay. All right. Let's double check our assumptions then. Our assumptions is that the price of Canggu land was cheaper before we arrived and went up after we started doing our activity. Is that correct assumption? And I'll ask Wayana for that. Babe.
Okay. So I think for price of land for sale in Canggu is always growing up from, let's say, from 2015, because that was when we started there, and until now I think Canggu is like still the most desirable place to go. So the price of the land is very stable.
All right. So the data point we need is what was the price of land in Canggu when we started? Okay, don't guess, but can you get that information from a reliable source?
I can check with agents. Have
Or
more.
check with the landowner. Just get that data for us, right? I think that data would be
Okay.
very instrumental.
I can check few owner that have a property in Canggu, like Mok Luli and maybe Rakarai.
Okay, let's start with those data points, yeah? I figure we just have to use salt of the ocean. If it was salty then, it's probably salty now. So we're going to use one data point to represent maybe what the market was. Can you get a similar data points for Nusa Penida then? And also Bingen?
Bingen already give you like price before and now. So the one that I need to make sure is Canggu actually, because I'm there It's just when the property finish actually, and instead of like knowing the price of the land.
Okay, over to Vidi. Vidi, does this help what you need?
Yep. It does. It does.
I've got another one. Sorry to switch direction again. Do you think Sina and Moss will consider Bingen a success?
Try. Let's see what Lilis has to say because
Okay.
I'm not familiar, right, with the area.
Being in a success, I only from myself, sir. I only knows Canggu and Nusa Penida that is
Okay.
most popular in my history.
Okay, the reason I ask is because if it was just down to Bingen, we could just focus on saying Bingen. But if it doesn't have enough like brand cachet, then okay, let's say Canggu or Nusa Penida then. Okay, then over to Vidi again. Does that work?
Yep. Yeah. If we're really sure that we actually influence the land price in Canggu and Nusa Penida, then it works. Because as I also asked about some properties that we actually influence heavily,
Yeah.
such as La Jolla, right? La Jolla was a boom because of Bukit Vista, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an example of a property. Like it's a smaller scale. If like if the land price seem like quite stray off from it's like too much of an assumption. But if we're sure, then that works.
Okay. All right. So basically, if I'm hearing correctly, Vidi, it's that there's enough skepticism that we don't have enough, let's say, conclusive evidence that we are the sole reason for the growth in the land prices.
Yeah, that's just me. That's just me. Perhaps let's go around. Like let's go around and ask the others whether they think it's uh, I'm too skeptic or not.
Okay. Let's go over to Lewis then.
Uh, that's why I asked Fidi basically, sir, at the beginning. Do you get the data that is support? Because if it is from mouth, basically, there's no data that is documented on internet, perhaps, or something like.
But the data on the internet, Lewis, is also not very good.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm trying to find it in the BPS, but yeah, they don't also document the price of the land. Maybe we yeah, it's that's why it's really difficult basically to prove that we are the one that has participated and yeah.
Are we focusing maybe let's say okay. All right, I got it. Um, let's go with a few assumptions then. Let's check if the assumptions are correct. My first assumption is that there is no quality data regarding land prices in Indonesia, or specifically Bali. Let's say not Indonesia; it's too broad, it's too big. I just for Bali, and the reason I believe that is because nobody accurately reports what the land transaction is because they don't want to pay full taxes on it. Is that a acceptable assumption?
um I don't know what the tax the tax
Okay,
thing that, yeah, I'm sure that
let's just say that
there's
there are no
no.
accurate land prices in Bali that have been recorded on official documents.
For per area, I've searched everywhere. There are no accurate ones, but for the index from the Bank of Indonesia that I've showed you this morning,
Right.
then that's the only index that we have.
Okay, so the best number that we have is an amalgamation of all types of data that are into one index, but that index is not useful for what we're doing because essentially it is, let's say, it would not show that we're competent if we showed that number. Am I correct?
Yeah, because it increases either way.
Okay, right. So what we're trying to prove to Pot Jimmy is competency. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So then, what is the best source of competency at the moment then? What is the best facts that we can work with at the moment?
That's why I prepared a second story of La Joya.
Okay, good. So if we can, okay, so we reduce the scale of it, right? We don't try to say something that we don't have entirely good knowledge about. We talk about something that we do have good knowledge about. Is that the direction?
Yes.
Didi?
Yes, that's the direction where I'm
Okay.
going. Actually, it's just a backup plan in case like it sounds too crazy. Then I've added it as a like an extra story, which is very much more believable because we actually have the data.
Okay. Let's go with this idea. Let's go with tone, right? Should we be more crazy or more conservative in this particular pitch? Over to Vidi.
Uh, Actually, I have to ask Joseph. Joseph did a lot of reading about Mr. Jamie Lim. According to Joseph, his projects do they seem crazy or do they seem more conservative?
I think they are a bit crazy because they want to create like this Silicon
Yep.
Valley in Indonesia, and that
Yep.
costs a lot of money, which is $7 trillion. Yeah, rupiah. Sorry.
Okay,
But then,
good.
That's good.
yeah, so it's like they are crazy. They are crazy.
Birds of a feather, then.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you, Joseph. Vidi, is there any other information that we need to get about Mr. Jimmy Lim?
So far, there are only like 3 Google pages about Mr. Jamie Lim. The 2 projects regarding the Silicon Valley in Indonesia, and also the Grab Wheels in BSD City. Also, the investment hedge fund investment,
Okay,
basically. Oh no, not hedge fund, like investment fund.
okay.
Yeah.
Are these high risk, high return, or low risk, low return? What sort of
It's actually low risk, high return.
low risk, high return portfolio? Yeah.
Oh, for us, right?
No,
This pitch. So this return.
for what Mr. Jimmy Lim
The portfolio.
goes for.
It's high risk actually,
High risk.
quite high risk.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. His title is innovation brand. It sounds like edgy stuff, right? It doesn't sound like
Yeah.
close stuff. It sounds like the one in a million shots. Okay, so then my assumption is this. My assumption is that Mr. Jimmy Lin would be more excited with stuff that sounds crazy than stuff that sounds rational.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, all right. So then, if he's investing in crazy stuff, it's more of the FOMO. It's more of like he's missing out on something that could be huge, and he would invest. Let's say he'd rather probably invest $1 million and fail on it than lose $1 billion on what the outcome could be. So then, that's what we need to do the turn on. What we need to turn is this: what is the value of the land today? What is the value of the land if we can get busy with it, right? And then that's essentially what the risk reward ratio is, right? If the reward is, let's say you're completely full of shit, right? I don't believe you, but if you were right and I lost $1 billion and you went to somebody else and developed that, then I would regret the hell out of that, right? But if you were wrong and I only spent $1 million, I'm not too phased out by that, whatever. Because I initially promised him that too, Vidi. I said this is probably not going to work, but if it does, this should be a pretty big deal for both you and me. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what I need to get. I don't need to get the data just entirely correct. I just need to get kind of like, is it sound plausible, right? Does it sound plausible? It's not research. It's not science. It's just business. Does it sound like something that could actually happen, or does it sound like something that like what are my odds? Because I think business people think of it in terms of a gamble. They know that it's a gamble. It's probably not going to work, but is it worth the gamble? So if I can say this, right, you're sitting on perhaps $1 billion worth of land if you can monetize it correctly, but you're not. So it's only worth maybe $20 million right now. But if you listen to us, we can turn it into $1 billion, and that would be worth your time today. So what I then need to show is, okay, you have a huge amount of land. Let's say we were able to, let's forget about plausibility, right? Let's say, okay, all right, we improved the prices of land in Canggu by 100%. So let's take a look at the value of what we believe your land is worth today, and let's add 100% to that. And would that be interesting? And if he says yes, then we got a deal. And then we get into details later about, okay, what is it that you're actually going to do? What is it that makes it worthwhile? It just has to be the risk reward ratio is worthwhile, because sitting around and waiting is also not going to work, right? That's the other part of the problem too. The other part of the problem is time. So we can say that you can sit around and wait for the perfect plan and everybody to come up with an initiative or whatever, but at the same time, you're also kind of losing out. All these other places in Bali are getting popular, and you're not. So it creates a little bit more urgency, I think. All right, let's do this then. Let's get the best. Let's round the numbers, right? Let's say that let's say the price of land in Canggu went up 80%, right, in the last 5 years. Let's say that we had maybe 20% influence on it, right? So that's like maybe 16% increase. So we can conservatively say, all right, we had a 16% increase value for the land in this area. Would a 16% increase in the land value within this amount of time be attractive?
Yeah, I think so. It's more than 2%.
Okay, let's just go with that then. So we sort of wave our hands a little bit and cut off. We don't need to be that detailed. We just need to get the general idea across. And then later, if they do invite us for a second meeting, then that means they're interested, right? And then we can go into details and figure out what the exacts are.
Yep.
Okay. And here's my thought too, Vinny. This is once in a million chance anyways, right? So if he says yes, it's probably because he's already calculated what the loss is, and it's already better than whatever is happening right now. So I don't think it's necessarily like and how much time do we have right now? We only have less than 24 hours, right? So we're not going to get it perfect anyways. So essentially, yes, you're right. It's a risk. It's not like an exam where there's like 100%. It's more like if it's a risk and we just happen to be of the right risk appetite, then we win. If not, we don't win. The reason I think this is it feels to me like a job interview, to be honest, right? Whether or not you get the job or not, you don't really know. But at least if you're successful, you get another interview, right? So understanding his problem, I think, is the most crucial element of the whole entire thing. Understanding his problem and at least showing some sort of credible, that we could be a credible person to trust to get it done. And actually, it's not even that even, Vidi. It's not even that. It's this. Who else would be able to do it? Right? It's like, all right, if not us, then who? Who would actually be able to actually do it better? You don't need to be the best candidate. You just need to be kind of like the best candidate at the time.
Right. That makes sense.
Okay, so let's okay. So that's my assumptions then. So based on that, Vidi, what can we do next?
Yeah, get that data from Wayan and the owners. That would be nice if you can have it. Then build up the presentation, shuffle it up according to what we've planned, and create the narrative.
Okay.
The narrative will be just like bullet points of facts, basically,
Yes.
so that you have the numbers. But yeah, and it's like a pointer.
Okay.
The plan,
How we got
since
these
the plan isn't it. Yep.
We should also report how we got these facts too, right? Like what's our
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The sources, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we can demonstrate our competency by showing like we've gone through this process, right? Of looking for the numbers, but we know the numbers from memory. Let's just say that. Okay.
Hi, sir.
Over to Lulu.
I have. Do you enter Changu's market after you heard something like, oh, people likes to come to Changu, then I have to find more property there, or
We got in Canggu fairly early, Lilith, right? Canggu was about, I think, there was nothing on Jalan Nelayan, which is where we mostly built up, right? And there was nothing really around Deos at the time, which is where Mivilos is. So we got there not in the very beginning, not like Bingen, but we got there probably, if Canggu is in, let's say, stage 5 right now, we probably got there in stage 2. There was Dos already, there was Old Man's already. Those were, I think, the primary catalysts to get that place really going, right? But at that point, there was maybe only about 20% of the guest houses and accommodations that you see now.
Okay.
So no, we didn't get there like at the very beginning, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, why I'm asking because we want to say the general, right? I mean, because we like the data is very difficult because we don't have the documentation. Just like uh, Changu is, yeah. For example, like we can tell the story.
Mhm.
First there's Hughes and there is the old man in Changu, and then we build up some. I mean, we market research in that area,
Mhm.
find some more properties, and then the area growing over
Mhm.
there, like how many years is that happen. And we also maybe if you remember something like, oh, I aware during that time, the expansion time of my team,
Mhm.
there's something that come up, there's something that's come up. At least we understand why this area is growing. Do you get what I mean, sir? It's just
I,
like story basically, but it's fact.
I do understand it. Yeah. What we're selling at the end of the day, I think, Lilith, is a story, right? We're selling
Yeah.
essentially a story that is plausible so that we can make it happen. Um, it's sort of like, how would I say, a pitch is different from a research project. A research project is something that you've done evidence and everything, and it's sort of like it's proven, right? And you're presenting the proven facts. A pitch is not necessarily proven. When people do ventures and they talk about like, hey, I have this idea, people are going to sleep on your couch and you're going to get paid for that. What? It's garbage, right? Get the hell out of my face. Do you have any facts that can prove that? No, but if I go to somebody else and they give me like this money and it works, then you've lost out, right? So I believe the essence of a pitch is probably about 80% business and 20% facts, meaning that it is just about, do you believe that this is an opportunity? Do you believe I am the right person to deliver this opportunity? And can you actually do you prefer us doing something about it than nothing, right? So we have to remember at the end of the day, it's not about whether or not necessarily, it's like getting a job, right? Even though this candidate might not be the perfect candidate, I need somebody to get this job done, because having it not be done is worse than whatever. So maybe what I'm doing is I'm not actually hiring the person per se, but because of what they can prove. I'm hiring because they have the right vision, and I believe that they could possibly do it if they wanted to. That is what is the context of our pitch to Saint Armas, right? Can we prove it? It's hard to prove, right? But it's hard to disprove too. And the way investors think is they think, what if everything went right? And I didn't get on top of it. Professional networking. Robert Howe, right? Vinny, were you there?
Yep. I
Okay.
remember Robert Howe.
Yeah. What if everything went right? And so that's all we have to do. All we have to look. If they really want to drill down and ask us this question, that's good. That's good, right? We'll come back and we'll say, hey, look, we don't have all the data entirely correct because we've had some difficulty collecting this, but we've been here for this amount of time. We've been very lucid, and we see that it's happened, right? If you need the data, let's have another meeting and we'll collect the data in detail. But this is what we have seen has happened. Okay? All right, let's go with that. Yes. So let's not get too sort of focused on where the details are at the moment. Let's just say let's get the narrative correct. This is a pitch, so we are selling something. We're not selling the data; we're selling the idea. And if the idea is interesting enough, then the data is just a way of confirming whether or not it's feasible or not. And if we do go into that stage, then great. Then we have moved to the next stage of the deal. Okay. If we don't even get into that stage, then we have nothing really to talk about anyway, right? With the data. Does that make sense? If they love
Yep,
the
it makes sense.
they will find a way to verify the data. But if they don't love the idea, then even if you have the data, they're not interested, right? Okay, but let's be truthful. Let's be authentic, because I think they're an authentic company. We're an authentic company. We'll tell them, look, this is how we collected the data. We don't have the data, but we're competent enough and we're confident enough that there is no good data on this besides what people remember. Yes, Vidi?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pitch, right?
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that from Robert Howe.
Okay. All right. Let's not get because I know you guys come from science backgrounds and programming, so you want it all to like connect together, and that's yes, that's how you would do research. But this isn't research. This is business, and business has other
Yep.
constraints. Yeah. Okay. So what I just need is be truthful. We're not going to lie, right? We don't cheat. We just tell the facts the way we see them. We tell our process of collecting these facts, and we're not going to hide anything. We're going to say this is what we have. We're confident that you won't be able to find it. And if we're wrong about that, then I guess we go to Vidi was like, hey, you didn't find it, right? But I think Vidi knows what he's doing, so I trust that he's done his very best to find the facts, okay? So that's okay. If we don't know, they probably don't know either, right? But we have to actually show that we're competent. We can't say numbers that don't make any sense, that show that you've been there for that long and you don't know, but we do know. Well, then why is this number? Yeah, but we could have got it on a website. You would believe the website over this? No, right? We have to show at least we're competent enough to do that. Okay, so let's go focus back on the right things again. Vidi, what do we need to focus on now?
Actually, sir, Joseph, as a chair, he reminded us about the time.
Yep. Sorry. Yep.
No worries.
It's
That's
already
good,
for
Joseph. Thank you very
the
much
end.
to remind us
Maybe
about
we
the time.
can
But
just go
yeah.
into the conclusion.
Yes. So the conclusion is, let's get the data from Mawayan after calling the two owners and fixing the presentation. Fix up the storyboard at the at the storyboards, and that's that, I guess.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're actually running out of time, but there's two more discussion in the discussion management board, which are Jinx and Wayanas. So is there other really important or urgent so that Tara.
I just wanted to ask, so when should the presentation be finished by? Because there's only one more hour until the workday is technically over, right?
Yep.
It's just, I want to know how much. I'll probably be working overtime. It's fine. It's just I want to know how long.
Yep, Kak Lilis.
Okay. I guess I need to, because this is tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
I will take the template from Tara, perhaps, and I think,
Yeah.
information to Tara again, and then check up to Fidi again. It will need a long time. So I guess we need to access your presentation, and we would like to modify your presentation, basically.
Yep.
So is that fine for you, Tara?
Oh, that's fine. I already gave Fidi editing.
Yep, I
rights.
have the access. Yep.
What does
Okay.
that mean for me though? Just to be sure. I'm confused.
I guess we will let you know later.
Okay. Yep. So perhaps let's try to get. You can still work until like less than an hour. Then after that, leave it to us, basically.
Oh, you sure? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. So again, Mr. Jing and Kak Wayana, is your discussion really urgent so that we can discuss it now, or like?
I got a question. Okay, this is over
Yeah.
to Vidi. Should we have a dry run, a rehearsal run at some point before the actual pitch?
Yeah, we should actually.
Okay.
The time that you proposed tomorrow morning, it's only to review, right?
It's a little bit too late. That's
Yeah,
why
a little bit too late.
sure that we're wearing the right clothes and,
Yep.
and we sort of cut our hair and look presentable.
Right. We can do it like after perhaps at 8 or 9. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Fine by me actually.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
Let's do this then. For Joseph chairing today, I think we can dismiss. Our main focus is going to be on this pitch, anyways, right? So whatever discussion topic
Yep.
we think about next time. And I'd like to stay for. I'd like me and you to stay for a moment, and we'll talk about what's going to happen between now and 8 o'clock. Okay. And
Right.
I think that's what we can do for the time being. Is that okay?
Right. That's okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Back to
Just a quick question for. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll flag you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the
Okay.
design.
Okay, so I guess it's done for now. Discussion. Okay. Thank you for coming. We'll dismiss the scrum. Hey, oh no. Oh, feedback first. Yeah.
Oh no, Joe.
Oh.
Feedback today. Normally we do feedback, but right now it's just
Oh, okay.
we need to do. So if you have any feedback for Joseph, please just put it in the Slack, yeah, so
Okay,
that
okay.
Joseph can get feedback for sharing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Jing. It's just before when you talk, my connection got lost, so I just don't get what you talk about.
Yeah, I know. But we have I'm prioritizing today.
Oh no, it's just when you talk before, my connection got lost. So
Oh,
I don't think that we should end it now. Or
okay.
like,